Hey guys, it's Luna. And today I'm going to be doing a little Q&A. I posted to my community board a little post for you guys to ask me questions, and I have about 400 to get through. I'm obviously not going to get through all of those, but I will be trying to answer all your questions. Okay, the first question is from Cynthia Zhang, and it says, how to avoid/handle insecurity in regards to ballet. Ballet is a very, very critical art form, and I talk about this a lot in my videos, so I don't want to repeat myself, but for those that haven't really seen my videos, there's so much insecurity that goes on ballet. I think me and all my friends have all been insecure at least once every day about something random. I think you just have to realize that the ballet world is changing and they're accepting more body types, and I feel like it's your job to change that stereotype and just make that your motivation instead of just thinking you have to fit a certain mold, because in the end you'll be more satisfied with yourself because you know you're doing something you love and also making a change in the right direction in the industry. Okay, Crystal Kim asks, dream college plus future career. I know I'm gonna get so many of these questions, and I try to avoid this question every single day. I swear I get asked it by everyone, but I really am unsure right now about what I'm going to be doing next year. I know I'm not going to a university. I could go to a community college. Probably will end up doing that just to stay educated. I'm going to audition for a ballet company and trainee spots in January and then see if I like the results from that. But what I really would want to do next year is kind of stay in LA, continue YouTube, and then kind of branch into other things from there. Maybe acting, maybe, I don't really know yet, but I'll figure it out for myself. And I knew that college was not the path for me, and I'm okay with that decision. Jade Randall asks, who's your style inspiration? I change my style a lot. Like, I have a lot of different moods and types, but Bella Hadid, I love her style. I wish I could have her closet. I think she dresses really cute. Devin Lee Carlson, definitely a style icon. Where do I see myself in 10 years? So in 10 years I'll be 27. I hope I'm like living in my own house, probably like have a boyfriend or something, maybe not married. I mean, who knows, whatever. How many kids do I want? I want 3. My tarot card reader says 4. I think I said this in the last Q&A. Gloria Green asks, what is your religion, or do you believe in a higher power? I don't really assign myself with any religion. I definitely think that there is an energy out there bigger than us. However, I don't believe in a singular energy. I like to think of myself as a spiritual person, but not necessarily super religious. I respect all religions, and I think it's a great outlet and great way to gain inspiration and hope and all of that. So I respect all religions, obviously. I just don't really study one myself. Purple Nuojo asks, how do you deal with fake friends? I haven't had a lot of experience with fake friends because all my dance friends have been super close, and we have been, and it's always been a tight-knit community because we spend time with each other every day. And then in school, I'm a very no BS person, so if I sense that someone's being a fake friend to me, using me in any way, I cut it off completely and I just avoid them at all costs. Elza Nabogade asks, how tall are you? I am 5'7.5". Nadine asks, what's something you wish you had learned earlier in life? I wish that I didn't have such high expectations earlier in life. My mom always kind of built this dream world for all of us, all 3 of her kids. So everything seemed so perfect all the time. And then I went through a change in 8th grade where my parents got divorced. I moved out of my childhood home, and we kind of lost everything that we had, and it kind of was a realization for me, and that was a really hard time for me. I wouldn't change it because I learned so much from it and I'm a better person. I struggle with having such big expectations now just for my future. I'm nervous, I'm scared, I'm so fearful that I won't do what I want to do and be as big as I want to be to my own standards. Yeah, definitely not having such high expectations would have been better, but I wouldn't change it because that gave me the drive to be where I am right now. Ruby Diane asks, what's on your Christmas list for 2018 and any New Year's resolutions? I'm not wishing for anything this Christmas. We're going to Denmark, which is present enough. I'm so excited to go. I guess if I'd get anything, I want a cat, but that's not happening. Any New Year's resolutions? I definitely want to be less fearful. By next year, I kind of want to be self-sufficient. I want to figure out what I'm doing next year, which I have to, I guess, because I won't be in high school. But Kelly McCain says, do you ever want to get tattoos and or more piercings? I wouldn't mind more piercings. I do want to get a tattoo. I want to get like a little moon here. I also have this scar right here and I want to get like something written over it. I don't know if that would look chunky though. Krista Freeman says, ways to deal with depression. I have this thing where a week before my period, I get super depressed. It's like a actual disease that's like diagnosed to people. I don't have it terribly, but I get really sad and I get really impulsive and angry with other people, and I just want to lay in bed forever. Like my whole life is just done. I just like no hope. It's terrible. I'm not really a master on this subject since I still deal with it myself, but I honestly love to just wait it out and cry. But that's obviously like, because it's only a week period, I can. But for people that have, you know, real clinical depression, I don't really feel educated and experienced enough to speak on that. But I feel like focusing on other things but yourself, focusing on other issues that are going on in the world. But again, I can't really speak on this because it's not fair. Tia's Life says, do you ever get overwhelmed by perfect people on social media? How do you deal with this? Yeah, I get overwhelmed all the time. I think it's important to remember that it's all edited. I know that for a fact, that every single photo you see of someone is edited. I know that most of the people on social media that I follow have had work done, so I can't aspire to look like that when it's all money that they spent. I just remember that it's not really real life, and that helps me. Hazel Vol asks, do you find yourself closer to dance friends or school friends? Definitely dance friends. I spend way more hours with them every day than I do with school friends. I also can relate to them more, obviously, because we're doing the same thing. We all have the same drive to be a dancer, which is a very intense drive, so we're bound to be drawn together. I don't drink or smoke or do any of that stuff, which a lot of school people do on the weekends and stuff. Me and my dance friends, we just hang out and we can have as much fun not being intoxicated. So I find myself more comfortable with my dance friends. We talk about more stuff, and definitely my dance friends. Kalisha Raming asks, how do you handle your stress/anxiety? For me, I get anxiety about stuff that I don't even know what the cause is, so I just have to sit down, take a deep breath, and actually realize what's causing my anxiety. Most of the time I like don't even know what it is, so then it just instantly goes away. Molly Monk asks, advice on finding your inner spirit / who you were meant to be in this world. That's a hard one because I'm going through it right now, but I feel like there's not one thing that you're meant to do. Especially at the age of 17, I'm not going to decide that right now. I just have to kind of live my life for the next couple years and see what interests me, what comes to me. I talked about this in my last Q&A, but law of attraction, whatever I really want and I put out into the universe, it's going to come back to me in some form. So definitely try out that. I feel like you just kind of have to live your life. There's not really set advice that I can give you to find your inner spirit. You need to find that for yourself. Sarah Noonchester asks, who have been your biggest inspirations in life so far? I would definitely say my mom, number one, because I kind of saw her through my parents' divorce and the way that she handled it, the way she cares for me, her job, the way she handles her life is so inspiring. I hope that I can be as in control of her life as she is. My brother has been a really big inspiration because he knew what he wanted to do from the age of like 5. He just moved to Germany this year to play basketball, and he's working his butt off every single day, and his motivation is to support me one day, and that is all I want to do. So definitely a huge inspiration. My sister has been such a big inspiration as well. She was a horseback rider in high school, and then all of a sudden was into film, went to NYU for film on scholarship. Figured that wasn't really her thing, but kind of used film to transfer into the music industry, which she's killing it in right now. So she's definitely an inspiration for people that are trying to find their inner spirit, and she follows her intuition, and that is really inspiring to me, and I want to do that for sure. Whenever I have anxiety of not knowing what I want to do right now, I kind of think of her and see how her life has taken her so many places, and she's killed it in all areas, so I'm not really afraid because of her. Be Savage E asks, do you have cheat days or meals, or do you always eat healthy? I don't really think of them as cheat days. I just realize that the more I restrict myself from something, the more I'm going to substitute for something else that's going to be even bigger than that. So if I want a cookie, I'm going to eat like a bowl of fruit and almond butter and apples that has even more calories and more sugar than the actual cookie would. So I just think everything in moderation. I'm just gonna have that one cookie, I'm gonna be satisfied, and I'm gonna be happy. So Kiana Nair asks, what are 3 things you could never live without? I'm gonna split this into groups because like if I were to say 3 things I couldn't live without, it'd be like my mom, sister, and brother. But material things would probably be coffee, comforters, can't sleep without them, and chapstick. Zoe Cox asks an interesting question. When you began dance, would you say you were a natural or had to work a bit harder than others? I'd say technically it did not come naturally to me. However, artistry and like performing definitely came naturally to me. I'd say that the #1 thing that I am good at when I perform is artistry and performing from my heart. However, technically I don't have the feet, I don't have the leg shape. Yes and no is the answer. Andrea Harris asks, what is your ethnicity? I am half Danish and half German, but I was born in America. How do people around you react to your YouTube channel? Are they supportive? Everyone around me is super supportive. I haven't had anyone think it's a bad idea. My family supports me. My sister is also a YouTuber. The only thing I would say about that is that a lot of family friends and people that are older don't really see it as a job. So when I tell them I'm not going to college and I'm trying to pursue YouTube, they kind of see it as a joke and they're really worried for me. But I know the world that I'm living in right now and what YouTube can do for your career, so I'm not really worried about that. I don't take that personally. My friends have been super supportive. We joke around sometimes about it, but never in a really negative way. I'm sure there's people at my school that make fun of it, but I could truly care less because I'm out here starting my business and starting my life and supporting myself in many ways, so I could really care less what they have to say. Jay Faith asks, do you have a boyfriend? You know, I ask that question every day. No, I don't have a boyfriend. Ooh, I love this question. Moxie Dully asks, do you want to have children when you're older? If so, what would you want to name them? Okay. I have a whole list of names, you guys. Yes, I want children. I like the names Margot, Moon, Xylo with like an X. I like River, Zuma, Pepper, Teddy, Ralphie, Corona. How cute would a little like brown cat be named Corona? I really like the name Astrid. I like Alistair, and I really like Esme. MM asks, dream pet. I want a toy Maltese. I want it so bad. Or I want a little white cat with like a little pink bow. A little toy like white Persian cat. And I want to name it Esme. How many point shoes do you go through a month? On a good month, it'll be like 2. And then on a bad month, it's like 3. We have reached the bottom, but I'm going to answer one last question from Leo Fuller, which is, who are your favorite music artists? My favorite right now is Lennon Stella. I love her song called Bad and La Di Da. So good. Madison Beer's new song I really like. And then I like the basics like, you know, Billie Eilish, Ariana Grande. I also got this question a lot. I do have a Spotify. It's Luna_Hutzel. Kim Petras and Troye Sivan. I just went to their concert recently. So good. And that concludes this little Q&A. If you want to be a part of the next one, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube so you can see when I post on there. Also my Instagram. If I didn't answer your question here, go follow my Instagram and you might just get it answered there. I'm sorry. There were so many to answer. If I skipped your question, I might have answered it in my past Q&A. So I don't know where it is. Maybe it's like up there or there. You can click on it and watch it. Subscribe, like, comment. I love you guys so much and I'll see you next week. Bye.